Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and every week I take a close look at the real estate market here in the Villages. I'm going to orient you as to where the Villages is located. We are in Central Florida. The map you're looking at is showing you all active listings on the MLS as of today. Size of the circle denotes the size of the home, and the color of the circle denotes its price per square foot. That will be the case for all these maps that I show you, and you can see that it does indeed locate each home individually. The Villages is a 55 plus community. We have golf courses spread throughout, championship and executive. We have recreation, shopping, dining, and live entertainment in four town squares every night of the week. If you want to know what's happening to the real estate market here, what long term trends are, where properties are selling, where they aren't selling, this is the show for you. I'm going to break the Villages into four distinct geographic regions so you can compare between them. And a couple of things to note, the Villages has two distinct real estate marketplaces, the MLS and the VLS. The VLS is the Village's own internal marketplace. It's the only place you'll find new listings, but pre-owned homes are both on VLS and MLS. So if you're a buyer and you're only seeing VLS or you're only seeing MLS, you're only seeing about half of the properties available for sale. All of the information I'm presenting here is drawn from the MLS. The other point is that we produce this show every Monday. Make sure you check the date to ensure you're getting the most recent information. And as you look at this video, you get some sense as to the wide variety of homes available here. But it's worth noting that whether you have the least expensive home or the most expensive home, you have the same use of the amenities: golf, pickleball, recreation centers, swimming pools, etc. If you need to reach me, I can be reached either at DavidisinFlorida.com or DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Be happy to help you with any questions you have. If you're a buyer looking for a good deal, I think you'll find our data-driven approach will help you find one. And if you're a seller, I think you'll find our approach will help you justify the highest reasonable asking price. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at what's happening in the Villages real estate market this week. So we're going to cover a lot tonight, and we're going to start with listings. We're going to move through this fairly quickly. By the end of the show, you will have a very good idea as to the current state of the market here in the Villages and perhaps form your own impression as to where things are going from here. We start with total listings. This week, down very slightly to 567 total listings. Form your own impression as to the direction of listings here, but we are down from over 700. How long have listings been on the market? The median days on the market for all MLS listings as of today, 66 days. We are bumping up again to higher levels. One of the more popular graphs here, median list price per square foot for all MLS listings as of today, 249.92. We've been hovering around 250 a foot now for several weeks. These are all the active MLS listings as of today. You can see the entirety of the Villages, and you can see the 567 active listings. Size of the circle denotes the size of the home. Bigger the circle, bigger the home. Brighter the circle, more expensive per square foot. I'm going to divide the Villages into four geographic areas. You'll get some sense of the differences between them. We're basically going to start at the older part of the Villages and move to the newer. This is the older part of the Villages. I'm calling this the north. This is everything south of 42 and north of Highway 466. 253 active listings in the north this week. Mid-North, one of the more popular areas because of its central location. This is everything south of 466 and north of 466A. 158 listings this week. The Mid-South, this is everything south of 466A and north of 44. Getting into the newer part of the Villages here, 69 active listings. And this is the South, the newest part of the Villages, everything south of Highway 44. There are 87 active listings. So now that you know what the four areas are, let's take a look at how they differ. Let's start by looking at the Villages as a whole. You can see that this week, median list price per square foot, 249.92. Size ranges, smallest, largest, median size, similarly for price and per foot. And I'm going to show you how this differs between the four regions of the Villages coming up next. Here you can see the same information, but it's broken down by north, mid-south, and south. Just as before, you can see how many listings there are in each of these regions, what the size ranges are, price ranges, and per foot ranges, and medians for all three. For those who don't know about the village's growth to the south, this should illustrate it. You can see how many homes there are available by year of construction, and you can see the north, mid-south, and south. Construction in the south really only began around 2020. We're going to take an in-depth look at homes that went pending and closed over the last 7 days. But first, let's take one last look at comparisons between the regions. Here you can see how many active listings there are in each of the four regions, how many homes went pending over the prior 60 days, and how many closed over the prior 60 days. If the number is an increase from the previous week, it's highlighted in green. If it's a decrease, it's highlighted in red. Now let's look at what changed last week, the number of homes entering the market as new listings and the number of homes leaving the market as going pending. This is a 4-week average. I will show you the exact data points in a second, but the 4-week average difference between new listings and homes going pending is 10 and a half more homes being listed than going pending over the last 4 weeks per week. Here we look at what the actual weekly data points are, difference between new listings and pending home sales. Last week, 6 more homes were listed than when pending. Readings above the zero line mean more homes going pending than being listed. So let's take a look at the homes that went pending over the last 7 days. Median time on the market, the 4-week average is 53 days now for homes going pending. I'm going to talk about this chart for a second because it is interesting. What we're looking at here is the 4-week average of the median price per square foot at which homes went pending. So 247.31 is the 4-week average. But if you look at the actual weekly data, it's quite interesting. Last week, the actual number was 258.06. The previous week, it was 246.06. And on the 15th of last month, it was 226.86. So dramatic improvement. And the price change for the homes going pending over the last 7 days is also dramatic. We're looking here at a 4-week average, 6.59%, the median reduction from the original asking price, but the actual weekly data is much more interesting. Here we're looking at the homes that went pending over the last 7 days. The median price reduction was a 9.3% reduction from the original asking price. And this is also worth noting. Over the last 7 days, the pending change was a 9.3% reduction. The prior 7 days, it was only 4.97%. And as I said, last week was 9.3. The highest ever that we saw was in November of 2022 when it got to 9.97%. And these are the 36 homes that went pending over the last 7 days. By comparison, these are the 48 that closed over the last 7 days. As I said, there were 48 that closed over the last 7 days, but the average over the last 4 weeks is 42 and three-quarter sales per week over the last four. And as you can see, this is a healthy level of sales historically. And to put it into context, here's how it compares to previous years. You can see 22, 23, 24, and the current year 25 in red. And you can see that this is a substantially higher level of sales than we would normally expect. And that is even more apparent when you look at the same data smoothed with a 4-week average. Here we look at the median time on the market for the homes closing over the last 7 days. 56 days on average over the last 4 weeks is the median time on the market for homes closing. Here's another chart hitting new lows. This is the median price per square foot for homes closing over the last 4 weeks. This is a 4-week average. 229.66 is the lowest level we've ever seen. The actual level last week was even lower than that at 225.02, and the lowest level we've ever seen for homes closing was on the 4th of last month at 223 a foot. If you find this information valuable, please consider liking the video or subscribing to the channel. We really would appreciate it. So now let's take a closer look at the difference between the price ranges for homes that are actively on the market and the homes that have closed and gone pending. We're going to start by looking at price ranges for all MLS listings. You can see that the $300,000 to $400,000 range, 203 of the 567 active listings are in that price range. Very similar information on the homes going pending. This is over the last 60 days. Three to $400,000, the most active price segment. 152 homes went pending. 59 of them were in that three to $400,000 range. And properties closing over the last 60 days, very similar price levels. 331 closings over the last 60 days, three to $400,000 range, the most active price segment. Let's take a look at per square foot price buckets and see if that shows similarity between the groups. 250 a square foot is the median price for all the active MLS listings. You can see that 147 listings are between 225 and 250, 143 between 250 and 275. In the pending per square foot, you can see that 225 to 250 is becoming a popular price point here. 47 homes went pending in that price range. And in the properties that actually closed over the last 60 days, the situation looks even more dire. 225 to 250, 80 of the homes that sold were in that price range, but 74 were in the 200 to 225 price range, and only 33 in the 250 to 275. So now we'll look at all listings once again, and here we're looking at what percentage of listings have reduced their asking price from the original asking price. 56.08% of listings have been reduced. And the actual reduction is also increasing. The median price reduction for all MLS listings, 4.29% lower than the original asking price. If you're a buyer and you're trying to find a good deal here in the villages, or you're a seller and you're trying to maximize your return in a reasonable period of time, please reach out to me at either DavidisinFlorida.com or DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'll be happy to research properties for you, answer questions about life in Central Florida or life in the villages itself. If you have any questions, once again, DavidisinFlorida.com, DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Please reach out if you have any questions. Hope to hear from you. Take care.